Students of class 10, today we are going to start with the Musharraf's government 1999 to 2008. In your book, it is given on page number 16, continues on 17 and ends at 18. Let's start with the today's topic. Today's topic is the Musharraf Era, a transformative decade for Pakistan. The period from 1999 to 2008 is marked by the military rule of the President Pervez Musharraf. It was a significant era in the history of Pakistan. This time saw major challenges in the history of governance of Pakistan, economic landscape, and international standing. From the implementation of a local government to the sweeping civil service reforms, the Musharraf administration left an incredible mark on the Pakistan's political and social fabric. Dear students, the after the overthrowing of Nawaz Sharif government, Musharraf dissolved the National and Provincial Assembly and suspended the constitution and created a new office of the chief executive for himself. And elected President Rafiq Tarad was also forced to resign on June 20th, 2001. General Pervez Musharraf called a referendum which was conducted in an atmosphere of suspicion about its fairness. On the basis of this referendum, General Musharraf took over as the president on 30th April 2002. It is also controversial. Later, the Supreme Court passed a verdict and authorized him as the president to bring about constitutional and social reforms within a period of 3 years. That is, that if the problems are persisting, he was given the time period of 3 years to make certain changes. Now, the main tasks or the changes that he did was the change named as the local self-government or the devolution plan or devolution of powers, efficiency reforms, and the restructuring of the civil services. Let's look at them. What were they? Musharraf's administration undertook comprehensive reforms to streamline the civil service, aiming to improve its efficiency, responsiveness. This included measures such as performance-based evolutions, merit-based promotions, and the introduction of new training programs. Let's look at the main points given in your book. Number one, Deputy Commissioner was replaced by the District Coordination Officer (DCO). Maximum number of the administrative departments was not to exceed 12. Each department was to be headed by administrative officer. My dear class, in my next video, I will also send you some web type diagram to make it more clear. The revenue and the magistracy were separated from each other. Both departments were to be headed by two independent officers. The Union Council also comprised of a Nazim, Naib Nazim, Union Councils and Union Administration. Voters were to elect 13 members of the Union Council, 4 male councillors, 4 female councillors, 2 male farmers or labor members, 2 female farmers or labor members, and 1 minority member in every constituency of the Union Council. The Tehsil Nazim and Naib Tehsil Nazim were elected by all councillors present in the Tehsil. The Tehsil Nazim was the head of the Tehsil government. Seats of the Tehsil Council were allocated as per the following formula. Female 33%, farmers, laborers 5%, minorities 5%. Tehsil Nazim was head of the Tehsil government. The district government comprised of a Nazim and a Naib Nazim. The council and the administration. The district Nazim was the head of the district government and exercised the administrative powers. All the elected union councillors, Nazims and Naib Nazim assemblies assembled together to elect the district Nazims and the Naib Nazims. District police and district administration were made accountable to the district Nazim. Here, my dear students, let's stop and think about a critical thinking question, that why this devolution of power and local self-government always occurs in the martial governments of Pakistan. Why don't they occur in the democratic governments of Pakistan, where we elect the members for the national assemblies? Why don't they occur at that time? Why do we choose such a government of devolution of power in the martial law governments? Very critical thinking question. Let's let you find out the answer. Next is the devolution of power or the devolution plan. The civil service restructuring also involved the devolution of the administrative and financial powers. This was intended to empower the lower level bureaucrats and bring decision making closer to the people. General Musharraf launched this new scheme of local government. This initiative was named the Devolution of Power and Responsibility Plan 2000. My dear students, also note down this Devolution of Power and Responsibility Plan 2000 in any of the questions this statement may come. That what do you understand by the Responsibility Plan of 2000, and this will surprise you. So be very careful to memorize this word, and in your book page number 16, 5 points are given under it. Memorize them as the Responsibility Plan 2000. It may come as a short question. Minimum age limit was of the voter was converted to 18 years. Previously it was 21. Now it was lowered to 18 years. The system of the local bodies with strong financial base was devised. Male and female citizens were given representation. District government was fully empowered and stop unplanned urbanization. The disparity between rural and urban areas was a strong point, and for this strong rural structure was devised for the tehsil level or the villages levels. Next, enhanced accountability. Now, what is the meaning of enhanced accountability? Enhanced accountability means additionally, the reforms sought to strengthen the accountability mechanism within the civil service. Like if somebody is accountable or उसके ऊपर कोई case हो गया है, the case shall be very fast forward and the culprit will be given punishment immediately, including the establishment of specialized anti-corruption agencies and the implementation of more stringent financial control. Now let's look at the three-tier system. The three-tier system is given in your book on page number 16. The self-government was based on the four-tier under devolution of power and responsibility plan 2000, the union council, city district tehsil council and the district council. My dear students, this is called three tier or four tier. Because three tier it is called because the city district and the district council were almost the same. That is why it is mostly called the three tier system, but in your book it is given as the four tier system. Next is the empowered local bodies. The new system granted significant autonomy like power and financial resources to the local government. Lower level people were given more power. Increased citizen participation. The local government plan was also sought to enhance the citizen engagement in the political process by enabling direct elections for the various tiers of the local government. My dear students, from 1999 to 2002, the government was a martial law government. But in 2002, General Pervez Musharraf called a referendum which was conducted in an atmosphere of suspicion about its fairness. This referendum allowed him to extend his term as president. Now he converted himself from the chief executive to the president. This move was criticized by the opposition parties and international observers as a means of consolidating his power. The National Assembly elections were afterwards held. Let's look at them. In the general elections held in 2002, the highest number of the seats were secured by Muslim League CAF. The party was backed and supported by General Musharraf. General Pervez Musharraf was elected as the president for a term of 5 years. Mir Zafarullah Khan Jamali, a Muslim League Q member from Balochistan, was elected as the Prime Minister of Pakistan. He remained in the office till June 2004. He was replaced by Chaudhry Shujaat, who was put up by Pervez Musharraf as a temporary arrangement. The National Assembly then elected the famous banker and a finance minister, Shaukat Aziz, as prime minister on August 28, 2004. Challenges to the legitimacy, let's look at them. Despite these efforts, Musharraf's rule continued to face challenges to its legitimacy from various opposition parties and civil society groups who viewed the military's involvement in the politics as a threat to the democratic norms. My dear students, General Pervez Musharraf started a policy of enlightened moderation. General Musharraf claimed a policy, and this is named as enlightened moderation. This term generally implied to women empowerment and freedom of the media. Let's look on them. What was the meaning of it? Musharraf's enlightened moderation was a foreign policy and a social initiative aimed at presenting a more moderate and progressive image of Islam to the world, emphasizing values such as tolerance, education, and women empowerment. Media liberation was also there. Many channels were opened as well. The Musharraf era also saw a significant liberation of the media landscape in Pakistan with the introduction of the private television channels and the relaxation of the censorship laws, which allowed for a more diverse and open public discourse. Educational reforms were also there. As a part of this initiative, General Musharraf government introduced a range of educational reforms, including the establishment of new universities, expansion of technical and vocational training, and promotion of women's access to the higher education. International engagement. Enlightened moderation also sought to improve Pakistan's international standing, with the country playing a more active role in the regional and global affairs, particularly in the context of war on terror. Let's look at industrialization and privatization under the Prime Minister Shaukat Aziz, nominated by General Musharraf, and he was in office in 2004. Shaukat Aziz started the process of privatization as a faster pace. He targeted the privatization of 100% state-owned corporations and 85% of banks. He was successful in selling the shares of 80% of the banks and other state-owned corporations till 2007. Privatization of the telecom sector produced remarkable results. Enormous foreign investment came in. Mobile phone facility became common and widespread. Now let's look at the economic liberalization or reforms. During the Musharraf era, the government of Prime Minister Shaukat Aziz pursued a program of the economic liberalization marked by the privatization of state-owned enterprises. Industrial growth was also marked in the fields of automobiles, textiles, and information technology. Infrastructure was also improved, and heavy investment was done in this sector, building highways, power generation facilities, telecommunication networks, and this helped to support the country's industrialization efforts. Let's look at the points given on your book as well. The policy of macroeconomic reforms was introduced. It had 6 points. Number 1 is good governance, market reforms that implied the increase to increase the number of taxpayers, increase in exports, human resource development, water resource management, and economy free government control, that is denationalization. Economic reforms under the Musharraf were macroeconomic stability. That is, that reform aimed at restoring the macroeconomic stability, including the measures to reduce the fiscal deficit. Liberalization of the trade. That is, that if some foreign investments are coming in Pakistan, there will be less or no taxes on them. Privatization initiatives, as I have previously told you, there were a lot of privatization initiatives were there. Next is the poverty alleviation, and that income support programs were there to transfer the country's transfer the population that was below the poverty line to make them at least a middle class population. The achievements of the Musharraf's time period and challenges in the Musharraf time period. Achievements are decentralization of the governance through local government reforms, modernization and increased efficiency of the civil service, liberalization of the media and promotion of the moderation, economic growth and industrialization under Shaukat Aziz. The challenges are concerned over the legitimacy of the Musharraf's rule and the military's influence, ongoing tensions with political opposition and civil society groups, challenges in sustaining economic growth and addressing persistent poverty, and enlightened moderation. This approach was also criticized, and the impact on the social issue was also criticized. My dear students, I hope that you have understood the today's topic. If you don't understand anything, you may ask in group as well, and we will meet tomorrow again with a new video.